Hi everyone, welcome back to another video from Wesnos Tech News and Reviews. Today we'll be talking about the Garmin Venu 2. So this is a long-term review and I've already had the watch since its release in June 2021. So well over 6 months. I do know the watch inside out and I want to cover today its pros and cons, simply because there are plenty of pros, there are some cons, and you should know about it if you are going to invest into your sport watch as much as £300 or 400 bucks. First question though, is it actually worth it to spend that much money on a sport watch? Personally, yes, if it's a great brand, if it has an ecosystem and it has a lot of inbuilt features as well as advanced features that you can download from the ecosystem of apps. And all of these things do actually get a match in the Venu 2. So first of all, we'll discuss the design. Then we'll get onto the display, and then we'll talk about its features and functions. Let's do it. As agreed, first of all, we'll look at the design. Well, I've got the slate blue color with me. You can also get this in gray, in white, and in black. I'm sure some new colors must have come out since its release, since it has been on the market for about a year now. But what I like about the slate blue is that it's not quite blue and it's not quite gray. It's just sort of in the middle. So because I do wear the watch on me all the time, basically into the office as well as into the gym, into the shower, into the swimming pool, wherever you go, this piece looks the part because it's got this great aluminium bezel, which is not rotatable actually, but it is a nice silverish bezel on top of this, well, largely plastic case. The back of it is plastic, the sides is plastic, but again on top you've got this lovely silver looking, well, it's an aluminium frame or bezel. Another great thing about the design of the Venu 2 is the size. So with the Venu 2 you get 45 millimeters in diameter. That's the watch case. Now you can get the Venu 2S, which is smaller by 2 millimeters, or you can get the Venu 2 Plus, which is larger by 2 millimeters. Now I personally find on my 7-inch wrist that the Venu 2 sits just right. It's not too large, it's not too small, it looks just right. So 45 millimeters is ideal. You will also notice that the bezels aren't actually pushing out the watch too far. You've only got about 2 to 3 millimeters from the sides coming out, and they are sort of tapering down to let the strap actually flow easily around your wrist. Now, even though the lugs are plastic, and I've called this out as an issue when the watch was just released, I have been wearing this, well, quite hard. You can see the scratches and everything I've had on this watch, well, for almost a year of wearing it and using it quite extensively. I did not have any issues at all with the straps nor the lugs. So yes, it's probably very hard plastic. There's probably some kind of composite material here. Now you will also notice that you've got 2 metal buttons on the side, and you will see that they do have this polished satin finish, so they're not too bright, they don't look tacky nor cheap. It looks good, solid, well built, and that's probably the perception you want to get out there. But as well as that, you want to have assurance that they will last you the journey. So this definitely does it. The straps are 22 millimeter quick release straps. I think they're very comfy. There was no need for me to actually get them off and buy some third-party straps. I think these are great. They've got this texture on top, which is well, you can see the little holes up top, the pores in the TPU strap, while on the underside they're basically flat, soft, and silky smooth. That's all it is. Now it's a very flexible strap, so very comfortable indeed. No irritation noticed whatsoever, and I've been to the pool, to the gym, I've been sleeping in it without actually taking off the watch. Now when I say not taking off the watch, you'll find it interesting, but hey, you do get 11 days battery here. Now that's the official stated battery life. I'm not pushing it to the 11 days. I found that with GPS usage, frequent exercises and sport modes being activated, I do get around 7 to 8 days. But still, that's absolutely amazing. Anyways, that's the battery life, that's the design. Let's get onto the display because there are quite some things to be discussed about here. Let's do it. When I say display, you're probably thinking, Garmin display, usually it's going to be that always on, well, kind of boring, not very bright, TFT LCD display. Well, you've got it wrong because the Venu 2 is actually an AMOLED display that gives you bright colors. Now you can see that my favorite actually watch face is on here. So you can see some leaves, so it's lots of greenery. I've got my time on there, and I've got 3 customized modules there which show me my heart rate, my steps, and my calories burnt. Also, it showed me my date and of course the day of the month, and of course the day of the week. So the display here is absolutely astounding. I'm not going to say that the bezels are too thin because they're not, but you do get a 1.43 inch display, and that is quite a large size. That's going head to head with the best smartwatches, so such as the Huawei GT3, Huawei Watch 3. You're going against the likes of the Samsung watches. So this is a big display and it's bright. But I do have to mention something. There is auto brightness because there is an ambient light sensor in the Garmin Venu 2, but there are only 3 brightness settings. So that means that when your auto brightness is on, it does adjust between those 3 settings. So you don't get that range of, well, ambience as you would expect on the premium smartwatches. But then again, this is a sport watch, so it does have smartwatch capability, but in the end it's your multi-sport watch which just looks the part, and it steps away from the Garmin Fenixes of this world, which are just hardcore sport watches. But it's not as basic as just your more simple models like your Vivo Actives or your Forerunners, etc. So there we go. This is the display. So you do have your Gorilla Glass sitting on top. It is protected by this aluminium bezel. What I do find kind of interesting is that, for example, with the Fenix series, the glass is actually put slightly lower than the bezel, so that if the watch does fall on its face, it hits the bezel, not the glass. You don't have this feeling, well, you don't actually get this in the Venu 2. The glass is not sunken below the level of the bezel. So if it does fall flat down, you can just hope that the Gorilla Glass will save you, because the bezel won't. Anyways, that's more on the design. Now let's get into the features and functions of the Venu 2. To get started, let's talk about the most advanced features on the Venu 2. Then we'll talk about the more usual features and functions which we're used to see on other smartwatches, sport watches, and even fitness trackers. And then we'll get into the pros and cons of owning the Garmin Venu 2, the 2S, or the Venu 2 Plus. Now, when we think of Garmin, we need to recognize that Garmin is one of the world's best recognized sport watch brands. And there is a reason for that. They are sitting on a wealth of knowledge, on sports science knowledge. They've got a lot of sport research. This watch basically encompasses a lot of their latest technology, and yet it looks like a smartwatch. It's got an AMOLED display, and yet it does give you that huge battery life. 11 days is what they state, well, what Garmin states, but really you're getting just over a week, which is still great. Now, that's a great feature. You also get 4 GB of inbuilt storage. So that means you can download music to your watch. Now, another great thing here is that you can actually download Spotify, Deezer, Amazon Music, and you can download songs to the watch. So this is a great feature that you get on the sport watch. You get inbuilt GPS, you get 2 GPS satellite networks, you get GPS as well as GLONASS. So in Europe, you're hunky-dory. In US, you're fine as well. And you should be okay in Asia too. With this watch, you get an accelerometer, you get an altimeter, you get a barometer, you get a compass. This thing actually has continuous pulse ox. So that means while you're at rest, while you're not moving much and your heart rate is stable, you get a continuous reading of your blood oxygen saturation. You also get, of course, continuous heart rate monitoring, continuous stress testing. Now, a great and advanced feature here is that you get the body battery. And this works with your sleep monitoring. So let's say you go to sleep, you sleep for 8 hours, and the quality of your sleep was good, you will get a body battery charge up. If your sleep was short or it was of a bad quality, you had too much light sleep, not enough deep sleep, then of course your body battery would not charge up as much. And as you go throughout the day, as you experience more stress, be it from physical activity or maybe some stress just from normality of life, you will see that the body charge does get depleted faster. So I found that, let's say if I wake up and my body charge is 80, as an example, right? So I had 20 left over from the previous day, and over the night I gained another 60. By the time I get to end of day, and if it shows me 0, I will usually feel completely out of it. I'm tired, I'm ready to go to sleep. I don't have much energy left, and I definitely do not want to go to the gym or do some strenuous exercise. So the body battery in the Garmin Venu 2 especially is very good and very sharp. I've seen similar sort of functionality being brought about onto smartwatches, and it just feels like a gimmick. While here, this is real. The most important thing is that you can get your body battery chart up on the screen of your watch. You don't have to go to the app, and you can actually intertwine it with your stress levels. In addition to all these advanced features, what I love about the Garmin Venu 2 is that a lot of animations are right there on the screen for you. You get detailed charts, and they're not just graphically nice as you would see on the Huawei's, on the Samsungs of this world. They're actually very detailed, they're very specific. For example, take sleep. So this watch actually takes into account when you go to sleep, when you wake up, and then of course in the middle of it you have your awake times, your deep sleep, your light sleep, as well as REM sleep. And the level of analysis of this, you don't actually have to go to the app to take a look at the breakdown of your chart. You've got everything on the screen in front of you, and this is very good indeed because it does save you time. You can continue leading your lifestyle, you're on the move, you're busy, but you've got everything on the screen here with you. Big selection of sport modes. You can add new sport modes using the Connect IQ if you don't have something. For example, I do skipping rope. I usually do it as a warm-up exercise, but there was no jumping rope or skipping sport mode in the watch preset. So I went on to Connect IQ and found a widget, which is basically a sport mode, jump, downloaded to the watch, and it counts my jumps when I do the skipping exercise. So when you do have this ecosystem, and you can download faces, you can download apps, you can download widgets, you can download sport modes, it gives you this whole new experience of owning a sport watch, because you do feel like you're owning a smartwatch. But again, everything is based on science, and it just makes you feel a bit more happy with your purchase. The watch is also 5 ATM waterproof, so 50 meters. It's got fall detection. It's got the new health snapshot feature, which will allow you to record key stats, including heart rate variability, pulse ox, respiration, and stress. It's got the live track, which lets you invite others to join in your training goals, and group live track lets you invite more people to join you in your training activities. It's got incidental fall detection and assistant that lets you seek help when a fall has occurred. You get intensity minutes, true up, and move IQ. Your gym and fitness equipment include cardio workouts, yoga workouts, strength workouts, HIIT workouts, Pilates workouts, and automatic rep counting. You get gym profiles, which include strength, cardio, HIIT, and elliptical training. There's stair stepping, floor climbing, indoor rowing, yoga, Pilates, and even breath work. You also get animated on-screen workouts, and considering that you do get a 1.43-inch AMOLED display, these animated workouts are great because, first of all, it's a bit more exciting, it's something new, but most importantly, it's really helpful. Now, if you are a golfer, there are also golfing options included here. Your golfing features include yardage to layups, measured shot distance, and stat tracking. You get auto shot, pinpointer, hazards and course targets, digital scorecards, and round timers. So this watch here, this is a full all-rounder. When I say multi-sports, it does mean multi-sports. Take it to the pool, take it to open water. You can track your distance. It's got music on it. Connect your earbuds to the watch and listen to the music if you don't have your phone with you. Listen to podcasts. Whatever you need, this watch has it. That's all the great features. We've talked about some of the more basic features. Well, you've got your notifications, you've got your alarms, you've got all the usual stuff here. Now let's talk about the pros and the cons. Now, for me, the most important pro here is that this is functional in an office environment. It's also functional when I'm in the gym, when I'm in the pool. I don't have to take it off, so battery life, we discussed that. That's the biggest pro. That's the biggest pro. The other pro, of course, is how it looks. The fact is, if it was just boring plastic, that probably wouldn't cut it. But the fact that it's got this nice bezel on top, it does spice it up. The two shiny buttons on the side, well, they're shiny, they're metal buttons, they're not too shiny. It also creates this look which is more polished. It's not just a pure sport watch like the Phoenix series, but it's not as basic as the full-on plastic Forerunner series. It's a great mix. I also love the size here, 45 millimeters. It's not the huge 46 or 47 millimeters that you get on the Phoenixes. This is again the Venu 2 45 millimeters. It fits just right. And even the Venu 2S, which is slightly smaller, still looks the part. It doesn't feel too small, nor too large. Now let's talk about the cons, because there are quite a few here. First of all is that when it does drop, you hope that it's not going to be face down, because the glass is not sunken below the bezel. Again, I can see why that was done, because it gives it more businessy look and more smartwatch look instead of this very functional sport watch. I get it, but again, it's just not as useful. Also, I do find that the plastic lugs, it would have been probably better if they were metal, and maybe if the case was metal as well, but then again, this was done to reduce the overall weight of the watch. I don't think I can find any other cons. So I've been wearing this watch for just under 1 year, and I am satisfied with it all the way. This is a great piece, but the price does bite. But then again, if you were going to get yourself a decent smartwatch, prestigious, good brand, lots of functionality, you'll also have to drop at least 200 to 300 pounds. Well, here at least you get a lot of function from it. Anyways, thank you for watching this long-term review of the Garmin Venu 2. If you have anything to write about your experience with this watch, or the Venu 2S or the Venu 2 Plus, please leave it in the comments below the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.